Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Patrice, and this is my Embellish Life. In today's episode, it is all about New Look 6262. So, if that's something you're interested in, let's get in it. So, a few episodes back, I announced that I was going to make this particular pattern, New Look 6262. And I mentioned that I wanted to make it because I haven't sewn anything for church in a while. Yes, my summer sewing plans, it took me down a completely different rabbit hole, which I enjoyed thoroughly. But now it's back to the regular scheduled program. So I wanted an dress to wear for church. And I chose New Look 6262 because these are the type of dresses that I absolutely adore. Those fit and flare dresses, they get me every time. So yeah, so I had 6262 from New Look, and the fabric that I showed at that time was the Swiss dot fabric, along with the rose gold underlining. Well, you guys know your girl, you know me. Plans changed. Not with the pattern, but with the fabric. And I am absolutely, I don't have any regrets about it. So let's get into the pattern and all of my shenanigans that came with it. So, New Look 6262, as I previously mentioned, it's a fit and flare dress, and it comes in multiple views. We have views A to D, and the difference between all of these different views are actually the sleeves and the neckline. There's variation between the sleeves and the neckline. So in view A, it's a round neck. It's a round neckline and it's sleeveless. View B, there's it's short sleeve with a round neck. View C, it's a V neck with short sleeves, and view D, it's a V neck with short sleeves. And the view that I decided to do is view D. Yes, the V neck with the short sleeve. So I showed you previously the fabric that I originally thought was going to be the dress. But when I was about to make the dress, I realized that for some reason I was just stalling. I mean, stalling for days. I would look at the pattern, look at the fabric, and somehow I couldn't bring myself to cut into the fabric. And the fabric is looking back at me, is like, you know you're not supposed to cut me for this. You know, I don't know why you're trying to force this situation, but we shall not be moved. Like, okay, stubbornness is not a good thing. So I went back into my fabric stash. Went back into it. And when I went back into my fabric stash, it just hit me in the face like, bam, the fabric. The fabric that I was meant to choose. Now, this fabric, I bought it from Hobby Lobby a few years back, and it's black and white background with floral prints. And what gets me every time in this fabric is actually the colors of the flowers. So we do have like a coralish flower, mint green. There's also gold. And I think this either a light pink or a salmon. But whatever it is, I absolutely love it. And it's been in my stash for a while. Like I said, I bought it a few years back. And I never, knew what to do with it until that moment. It just popped up and said, I'm ready. And I said, yes, you are. You are ready. So I took it out and I prepared it out for me to cut the patterns on top of. Now, with this fabric, I realized that I don't really want to make the entire dress out of this fabric. I mean, I love the fabric, but to me, it would have been just a tad bit too busy for me being everything out of this one fabric. So I went back into the stash again, and this is where I decided to match our friend here. You guys are familiar with this eyelet bad boy by now. I showed it in the project resort chic. And so when I saw it, it was like, yes, I am destined for this. And I was so happy about it. And I said, okay, we're going to match you two together. And then at the same time, this bad boy jumped up and said, well, what about me? Yes, it did. And I said, okay, you are coming along too. So I had the three fabrics all together. So I decided this was going to be the skirt portion. This, the white eyelet fabric, was going to be the bodice part of it. And this bad boy here was going to be the underlining for this particular dress. So I got everything all sorted. Yes, I did. And now it was time to, cut the fabric out. So I'm going to tell you all a story, right? And keep in mind that the moral of the story is hurry dog, eat raw pudding. I'll say it again. Hurry dog, eat raw pudding. Just remember that's the moral of the story. So, so I've been experiencing some, fluctuations in my body weight due to some medications that I've been taking. I mean, this side effect is not something that just occurs. It's something that happens periodically. So I'm not surprised when I've seen that lately. I've been gaining some weight and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not surprised. But it hurts me every time when I have to size up when adjusting my patterns. Oh my goodness, I die a little bit inside every single time. And so and I'm a bit stubborn as well because I do not want to accept the fact that, my body measurements have increased just a bit. And I'm like, and so I'm preparing this pattern, right? And I'm looking at the finished pattern measurements, and I'm like, okay, Pat, I don't want to size up. We don't want to size up today. I think we can get away with a regular 16 to 18. Well, the original would have been 14 to 16, honestly, but anyway, but I can live with the 16 to 18. And I'm like, okay, we can get away with the 16 to 18 if we just decrease the seam allowance from 5/8 to either 1/2 or 3/8. We can do this, Pat, right? We can do this. We don't want to size up to a size 20. That is just criminal. And everybody was like, yeah, 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 yeah. We can do this, Pat. Cut between the 16 and the 18. Do your do. We can make it work. Let's go. So therefore, I cut everything grading between the 16 and the 18. So the bottom part of the skirt, I did it the 18, and then the top part of the bodice part, I graded between the 16 and the 18. So the neck region and the armhole was a 16, grading out to the 18. Well, so I start to sew up the bodice and everything, prepare the lining, did the dots, and did the side seams and everything. And I said, and I attached it to the bodice part of the skirt. I just pinned it, and I said, Pat, let's try this thing. Let's try on this dress, because I don't want to do all of this gathering and then I stitched it down and then it doesn't fit. So I took the dress and I tried it on my body. Bad boy, did it fit? Bad boy did not fit, I tell you. And I was upset. You know what? I was so upset. And I was upset because I knew better, but I refused to do better. Because for one, I was in denial because I didn't want to size up to what I knew that I was supposed to do. And two, I didn't measure the pattern pieces too as well. Even though I said I was going to measure the pattern pieces, it's like, Pat, forget about it. And that I did. So it didn't fit. So I rushed through that whole entire process and being stubborn, and I ended up had to start from scratch again in readjusting the pattern, retracing out the pattern, because now I have to size up and grade between the 18 and the 20. Oh, I was not happy about it, but I wanted to wear the dress now. If this dress was for later, I would have left it as it is. But I want to wear the dress like now. So I had to do everything from scratch again. And had I just done things correctly the first time, I wouldn't have to waste all of that time doing it over again. Hence the moral, hurry dog, eat wrap pudding. When you don't take the time to do things properly, this is what happens. You have to go back over and do it all over again. So that is what happened. And let me just show you the dress. Here is the dress. So this is the top part, with the eyelet fabric. And then the bottom part. Yes, 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 yes. And of course, there's my pockets. The pockets I actually use some of the lining, which is a broadcloth. And yes, and here's the back, sleeveless. Oh my goodness. I really like the combination of the eyelet fabric with this printed fabric. I really do love it. And the choice that I made for my lining, the mint green, which actually goes with the mint green in the printed fabric, I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to wear this dress. So the dress is actually an easy pattern and it doesn't have a lot of pattern pieces. Let's see. We have the front part, the back, the bodice front and back pockets. Did the pattern come with pockets or did I add pockets? No, I think I added the pockets. I don't think the pattern came with pockets. I added the pockets. And it came with facings, neck facings. Now, since I readjusted the pattern, I just sewed at the regular 5/8 of an inch for the seam allowance. Other adjustments that I made pattern wise, No, design wise, well, I added the pockets, and instead of adding neck facings, I added the lining because originally the dress doesn't call for a lining. I added the lining. And with adding the lining, I didn't had to do the neck facing, which I am so happy about. Because to be honest, I'm not a fan of facings. I do it because sometimes, the pattern requires it and, you just do it and get it over with. But if I can eliminate it, I would. So I did eliminate the facings after I added the, what you may call it, the lining, and I'm absolutely happy about that decision. So, in terms of the difficulty of the pattern, this pattern is extremely easy, very easy. And I can see myself making some more of these dresses in the future, which I plan to do because, like I said, these are the type of dresses that I absolutely love. So this pattern from New Look is so super easy. The instructions are very easy to read as well. A confident beginner can definitely do this um, this pattern. In terms of technique, I would say the only difficult thing that might be in this technique, in this dress, might be the zipper. Yeah. Everything else should be pretty straightforward. Now, I don't know how the facings are in the pattern because, like I said, I omitted the facings and I did the lining instead, and then I understitch. Also, the sleeves doesn't call for facings as well. It was bias tape, so I use bias tape in the arm sleeves. And yeah, I am so pleased with the outcome of this dress. And yes, I would make it again. The fit is absolutely brilliant. The fit is absolutely brilliant, even though I had my little shenanigans with it. The outcome is absolutely divine. And yes, I would make this pattern again. My rating for this pattern, definitely a 5 out of 5. I think for this dress, I might just transfer this new look pattern out of the regular stash and put it in my tried and true stash, my TNT stash. I can see me making more of this dress in the future. All right, lovies, that is all that I have today concerning 6262 from New Look. Definitely a keeper. I do recommend that you get this pattern. I know that it's still available on the Simplicity website. So if you are interested in getting it, get this pattern. Make it and put it a part of your wardrobe. Put this pattern a part of your stash. You would love it. I guarantee it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And also follow me on Instagram where you can keep up with my other crafted shenanigans. Yes. I hope you have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Think lovely thoughts. Keep on smiling. And always remember to make beautiful and wonderful things. All right, lovies. I'm out of here. Bye.